Okay, welcome to the video. Here we go. And I'm going to share with you what I'm doing for my arm training days, what kind of training protocol I'm following. And what I've been finding is two general styles of workout I'm really liking right now that I feel like I'm seeing results from. And they're very different. And I alternate between the two of them. I'm big on not just following a strict, consistent program the whole time, because even if it's optimal, which a lot of you are hyper focused on optimal, it's not optimal. You got to do it like this way. This is the optimal way. This is the optimal way. Even if you're doing something optimal, but you just keep doing it forever, I think inevitably the chance of you running into a plateau is much higher. You're better off to have some kind of structure that's attempted at being optimized, and then experiment and do different things to make sure, even if they're suboptimal, to make sure that you're continuously progressing your training. Because as soon as you just go into a consistent type of routine, even if it's optimal, you're going to hit a plateau at some point. So there's a lot of value in experimenting and trying different wacky techniques, even if, according to your technical muscle scientists, they might be a little bit suboptimal. That's my opinion. And so with my arm training, I try to apply that where two different styles. First style, which was the workout I did today, way more focused on heavy weight, longer rest times, more classic progressive overload structure of working out. The other workout is insane volume, not as much focused on working out, not as much focused on the weight. And the contrast of the two, I'm finding to be very effective. And something I've slipped into in the past is you see good results with something, you go, this is it. I got to rest 5 minutes. I got to focus on progressing the weight. I do this many sets. This workout's working. And then you sort of fall into a routine of it, and 2-3 months later you realize, I'm not really continuing to see progress. And I think that hamstrings a lot of people. It's gotten me a number of times. And to avoid it, you should have some kind of different type of training or different type of routines mixed in. And right now, I'm finding these two kind of different styles to be very effective. So let's get into the nitty-gritty details of them and why they're structured that way. So first one, heavier weight, longer rest times. This is what I'm doing. Supersets. A set of overhead dumbbell tricep extensions with the dumbbell overhead. It's the only tricep exercise I can do due to my limitations, past injuries, muscle imbalances. Have to do an hour plus of warm-up to get myself mobilized enough that I can even perform any type of exercise or training. It's a different story for another video. Anyways, and then I do standing hammer curls. And what I'm doing is I'm doing a set of triceps, I'm resting, I'm doing a set of hammer curls, and then I'm repeating, okay? And for the heavy day, which I did today, I'm doing 10 rounds of that. So 10 sets of triceps, 10 sets of biceps, supersetted. And the rest time is 5 minutes in between each set of triceps and in between each set of biceps. So here's what it would look like. I'm going in about the 12 to 16 rep range. I do my set of dumbbell overhead. I get that big ass 95-pound dumbbell up behind my head. Bop, bop, bop. All the way to failure. Max it out. Intensity. Angry. You got to be pissed. That's what this is good energy to channel into this workout. Listen to some angry music or whatever gets you fired up. A little bit of anger and intensity can take you to another level. I'm looking around the gym like I'm going to fight somebody. I'm telling you, it can give you an extra edge. And then I'm going to rest about 2 minutes. I'm going to do my standing hammer curls. Bah, bah, bah. And a little bit, form doesn't have to be perfect. Tempo's a little faster because we're just trying to move some heavy-ass weight aggressively all the way to failure. And then I'm going to rest about another 2 minutes, go back to triceps. Total amount of time that has elapsed since I did my last set of triceps is about 5 minutes. And the same thing happens for each set of biceps. So each muscle is getting about 5 minutes of rest in between. I'm resting about 2.5 minutes in between each individual set of any exercise. That's plenty of time to get your breath back and whatever else. So full recovery, pushing to absolute failure. And for me, I know it's going to sound wacky to a lot of people, 10 rounds of that, 10 sets of bis, 10 sets of tris, 20 sets total is a low volume workout. That's the one style. It's a very different style than the other one. The volume, now I'm going to do the exact same exercises. I can do some other exercises with biceps. I'm not as limited, but I'm finding the standing dumbbell hammers to be the most effective right now, so I'm just rocking with those. And exact same exercises. Volume day, I'm going to do a lighter weight, and I'm going to do, I did 30 rounds. So 30 sets of triceps, 30 sets of biceps, 60 sets total. And I'm probably resting 30 seconds in between each exercise, max. So I hit the set of triceps. I'm not really paying attention to the rep range. Depending on what point in the workout I'm at, I'm going to be somewhere in the 8 to 20 rep range throughout the workout. Start out with higher reps. I'm using the 75 or 80 pound dumbbell, and then I'm using the 35s to 40s for curls. So the weights are, maybe 10, 20% lower than the heavy day. And I'm pushing not quite to failure. We scale that back just a little bit. And I bang out a set of tries, and then I rest max 30 seconds, 15 to 30 seconds, set of buys, back and forth, boom, 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 boom. So each muscle's getting maybe about a minute rest, and we're just blasting that for 30 rounds. And it doesn't actually even take that long, because let's say, maybe to go all the way through, maybe it takes a minute and a half total for each round, tops. That's still going to be 45 minutes. So people go, I posted this one video where I said I did 40 sets, 40 sets of tries, 40 sets of buys, which I've done in the past, which is 80 sets total. I don't have time. I'm going to be in the gym for hours. Even that, if you bang it out and you want to get dirty, you want to get a little grindy and you're, push yourself to the limit. You're breathing, you're dizzy, you're pumped as a motherfucker. People don't have that mental tenacity to do that. That's the excuse. I don't have time. I'm going to be in the gym for it. You could do this in less than an hour. Most people are in the gym for an hour and just lollygagging. You look around, nobody's even breaking a fucking sweat. It's rare to see anyone push themselves even close to failure. They took a fucking nap in the gym for an hour and then walked out of there. For another video, use that as motivation. I do. I look around. I'm like, yeah, you motherfuckers. None of y'all are pushing yourself as hard as me, so I'm going to be better than you. A little bit psychotic, but it's good motivation. You got to use some of these angles and little tweaks and games you got to play in your head if you really want to push yourself further and further and chase after more and more results. That's what I'm finding. You got to kind of, it's mental warfare inside your own mind. You can control your thoughts, and use those things to spark motivation, emotions of motivation, anger, things that are going to push you through a workout more. It's useful. I think it's really useful. You can't just go in there and, I'm so happy and pleasant and my chakras are aligned. There's some days where I don't want to fucking train at all. Do an hour and a half of mobility, an hour and a half where I'm tired, fucking elbows hurt, kind of warm it all up, get it going. You need those fucking motivators on some days. You need to get a little angry. You need to get the motivation. You look around. Use the other people's lack of effort to motivate you further, to see, you motherfuckers, I'm going to separate myself from all of y'all because you ain't working hard. You're not pushing yourself. Excuses all the time. Anyways, that's kind of a side rant, but that's pretty much the two styles of training that I've found to be effective for my current arm routine. I think constant experimentation combined with following some kind of structure. And the first workout is maybe more structure. That's like your more typical progressive overload. I'm going to keep it at 10 sets, 10 working sets per muscle, and I'm trying to progress the weight. That's more standard type of fucking progressive overload. But if I just do those workouts, I don't think I'm going to see nearly as much progress. So the other day is kind of wacky. Whole bunch of volume, no rest, just banging them out, back and forth, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to use that day and potentially tweak it and change it and adjust the rep range, adjust the weight some, scale up the volume, scale down, tweak the rest time, just to be doing something different. And I found this combination of one workout that's really focused on volume and one workout that's really focused on pushing weight has led to good results in my observation of my own physique. And so if you are at a point where you hit a plateau, maybe you could try some structures out like this. And I think the most important thing in a workout is your intensity level, the amount of rest that you do in between each set. How many sets are you doing total? What rep range are you doing? And then how often in between, how many days off do you take in between workouts? I think that's way more important than exercise selection. I'm limited because of my injuries, but if you can do multiple exercises, do it. But I do not think it's the most important factor. Last thing, these arm days, I'm resting one day in between. So I hit the heavier weight progressive load arm day, progressive overload, and then I take a day off, and then I hit the volume arm day, and then day off, and then so I'm hitting arms every other day, alternating the style of the workout. And if anybody's curious, I'm doing my split looks like arms, legs, day off, arms, legs, arms, day off. And I can't train chest, back, shoulders effectively enough to make any muscle gain without exacerbating the muscle imbalances and causing all these different issues to flare up. So I'm just hitting arms and legs. I'm doing what I can and working on the mobility and trying to progress and making some good progress with the legs. The legs are growing, and I'm really happy about that. And I think my ankle's improving, which is the root cause of a lot of these issues. It just didn't heal correctly when it broke many years ago, and that's caused muscle imbalances and mobility issues all throughout my body. Anyways, I hope that this video helps to give you some inspiration for your arm training or whatever training you're doing. Maybe you learned a few things. I have an arm ebook that you can check out. Link will be in the description at fucksleeves.ca. Also, these shirts, you want to rock this Tyrannosaurus Reps or any of these other fuck sleeve shirts, all that shit is on the website, fucksleeves.ca. If you want to support me, go check those products out. Rock a shirt, pick up the ARM program. The ARM program is nothing crazy, but it's a good place to start to get you experimenting with a bunch of different styles of working of arm training days. So it's like 25 workouts, and they're all a little bit different, where some of them are emphasizing volume, some of them are emphasizing weight, some of them are emphasizing rep range. The rest times are different. It exposes you to all these different kinds of structures. And my advice, if you're going to go for it, is to pay attention to how your body responds to all of that. 'Cause what I found is a lot of people never even go to experiment. They get hyper focused on what's optimal, and then they just do what's like concluded in the mainstream literature to be optimal, and they never tap into self-experimentation, which the two combined is going to be your most effective bet. And so this, specifically for your arms, is going to get you to, it's going to force you to do some self-experimentation and try some different wacky kind of structures of workouts, see how your body responds to it while you're doing it, pay attention to the results you get, and then ideally my intention would be in creating it that way is then afterwards you learn a few things, you take a few things from it. Some of the things you found didn't work very well. Some of them you're like, this is leading to good results. I'm going to keep doing these kind of workouts and keep progressing forward. And hopefully you continue on upward as you go. It's not a fucking put 3 inches on your arms and that shit doesn't work. You like have to put in hard ass consistent work for years, but without experimenting and trying different styles, you're going to fall into a plateau. And so that ebook specifically is good for that. And so it's a good place for you to start if you're getting really into wanting to build muscle in your arms. And I don't put a ton of the more recent, like more extreme advanced techniques that I'm using, because for 99% of people, it's not going to be applicable. The reason I'm doing like the workouts I just explained right now is because as I continue to level up and see more growth, my body adapts and I have to do more and more and more extreme things to try to get my body to build more muscle. Given that I'm staying natural and not taking roids, which is getting more and more tempting because it's getting fucking harder and harder to still see progress. But most of the techniques I'm doing, within the last couple of years are not applicable to most people. And so something more manageable and reasonable that I did, in more previous years in the beginning to kind of build up some of that progress is what is mostly focused in that ebook. And then as you get further and further, and the few people that will be psychotic enough to keep pushing their training further and further and further, then some of the more extreme do fucking 60 sets of arm stuff will actually be beneficial, but that's rare air up there that not many people get to. And so for the majority, some of this stuff is going to get you some progress, it's going to juice up your guns some, you're going to build them up, you'll see some good results. And anyways, that's enough about that, but I hope this video helped you, and have a great fucking day. Peace.